Live? All right, bang, bang. Welcome to the Mid Show. This is Eddie, White Sox Dave Chief. We got Danny over there. We actually have Will Burge from Barstool, Cleveland. Dante's in town. They're going to jump in at some point after a long weekend for the guys.
Yeah.
A long weekend.
We got a lot knocked out there, Ed.
We did. We'll get into all of it. Before we do, though, we want to talk about the presenting sponsor of this show. And, of course, that is Miller Lite. We had quite a few Miller Lites while we were in Arizona.
That we made multiple pit stops at convenience stores, grocery stores, because a 30 rack wasn't enough for the boys in the Airbnb. And then we had a little what did we have at the Barstool bar? We had a few buckets, didn't we?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they were flowing all over Arizona that weekend.
It is nice being able to get a 30 of Miller Lite.
It is.
You can't get one in Illinois, correct?
Both trips we've taken recently, we've got one, too.
Yeah.
Maybe in some parts of Illinois. I just know in Chicago.
I don't think I've ever seen one,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's a nice little touch when you walk in that liquor aisle and you're looking for your Miller Lite, that great tasting, less filling 96 calorie Pilsner, and you get confronted with the 30 rack.
Yep. Just got to grab the brick because when you're in the mood for light beer, we want beer that tastes like beer. But that's light on calories, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Light beer with the flavor you love tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Redline. Or, let's be honest, it's Miller Lite. You can find it pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, Dave, you're the Arizona king. We got a lot of stuff done.
Can we tease who we had on yet?
Dave, they're locked up. They're sealed. They're not delivered, but they're all signed and ready to go. So, of course, we can.
So we started the trip. We landed. Probably got in local time about 3:30ish, I would say. And by the time we got to the Airbnb at 5 o'clock or so, Brian Urlacher.
Yep.
He was fantastic. Gave me a free
hair consultation.
Probably the hardest I've ever laughed in the shop.
He was grimacing at the sight of my hair. Grimacing.
I don't need to hear the woe.
Yeah,
I don't need to relive this. We don't need to redo this. Let's turn it off and we can put it in future stool scenes.
So I
or
guess
whatever.
you might not know, maybe if you live outside of Chicago, but Urlacher is like the poster child for a hair company that's based here because he has hair now. Actually, you would know that because everyone knows that Urlacher went from having no hair to having hair. But it's just more prevalent here because we see the billboards.
Yeah, there's just billboards everywhere in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like more billboards than exits off the highway.
Correct.
Pretty much. It's Brian Urlacher billboards going from like Mr. Clean Bald to having a nice luscious head of hair. Yeah.
Yeah, and he gave you a consultation.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed concerned.
He did. What do you want me to say? Why are you leaving this up to me?
I give you credit for doing it because, but at the end of the day, you definitely had, some intentions. Let's just say that.
Oh, it's a little boondoggle?
No.
You want to do an ad deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they give you a free hair transplant, you will do it. As would I.
1,000,000%.
Yes.
What? Of course I will do it.
Yes.
So Restore.
What did Danny say to you? He's like, yeah. Give him a tag.
Oh yeah, Restore. They did. They saw it. They liked it. Brian Urlacher had the same reaction. I said this on Twitter as like a middle school nurse finally finding the girl with lice when you revealed your comb over. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know, Chicagoans are literally like forced to leave their homes for new Urlacher billboards putting up. There's so many.
It's like the white smoke when the Pope's getting confirmed or whatever.
Yeah, there's maybe like 35 along 294. It's insane.
It's so many.
And Dave might be up there soon.
But that'd be hilarious.
Well, and I think maybe it's so funny for me because I basically had the same like eye line as him because I was standing behind Urlacher when he was doing that. And when he
parted to see,
and you probably don't even know much what Dave's hair looks like either. I really don't feel like I do because you always have a hat on.
Yeah,
or it's the 3 days a month where his hair looks good.
And it was one of the.
But
3
that
days.
is true.
That's bullshit. I don't.
What day was that? That was
on Friday.
That was on Friday. I got a haircut. I think that Wednesday. So I should have just spoofed it up because I can fake it for a handful of days.
It's hard to have good hair when you're traveling.
Yeah,
No matter who you are.
I had like a winter hat on, like baseball hat on, and
Yeah.
I was gross from
Flying.
the whole flight and
Correct.
everything. So
He did
Correct.
make it seem like your head, like Restore, if they can fix yours, you have to be the new face. Because Urlacher's like, I didn't need that much help. And he's like,
he said that his was like horseshoe.
Yeah, where yours
he
is,
had the top.
yeah.
Yeah. He
But
had
I
the
don't
top.
know. Like you can never see his like hairline because he always bicked it. You know,
Yeah, you
so
never really
I don't
did.
know like what to.
I'm just going off of
Compare
what
it
he
to it.
said.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He said like his like was like right here.
I think he was trying to say his hair was a little better than it actually was. His hair, he was like full on Costanza level bald. I'm not there yet.
Who? Urlacher?
Yeah.
Urlacher,
We don't
yeah.
know
I
that. He
have
always
no
had it
idea.
completely bald.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like I think he was like, oh, my hair wasn't this bad. I was like, I don't know. Yours was like.
I think he meant in terms of like fixing it, because yours is more
Yes.
like all over the place,
Yes.
whereas his.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's all about. I have a friend who is kind of going through the process right now. It's all about how many units you need, because they take the units off the back and they plug and play on the top.
And he did say I got a lot of units on the back.
He
and
said
the
you have
sides.
some donor hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where they get the hair from.
His was
Yeah.
like, okay, the front yard needs work, but yours is like, all right, this whole place needs
Correct,
cleaning
yes.
to do.
Yeah.
Like
well,
this thing needs a full.
Can I take
landscape.
hair
did-
from someone else?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think. But I did ask him if they could take from like your face, and he said, yeah, that they could have like your
I have
your
no
eye
problem
your eye
growing
beard.
hair there.
Yeah, I know.
It's a win-win.
They
But they
have all
could
the hair they want.
No, I don't sign up for that. I like your beard.
No,
What does this have to do with you?
What do you mean?
What
I'm-
does
gotta
this have
look
to
at
do
you
with
every
We're
day.
fucking brother in arms right here. I just have to sit next to you every fucking day.
What is the amount of hair I have on my face? Or
This
Gives
is
him
Yeah.
a- it gives
you're
him a
still gonna
chuckle.
get the same WSD every single day?
This
No.
No, WSD with the
Your beard
that
is part of,
Photoshop,
like-
yeah.
Your beard is as important as your right arm and the speed pitch machine.
yeah. This is like when Prez got mad at Riggs for not telling him he was going to fix his eyes.
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't do it either. I would just like show up with like a fucking like a nice thick ass like a hockey hair, like a helmet.
He said it like it was painful. And it took a while to like normalize, kind of.
So we all know Big Brother is always listening. So on Instagram, all my targeted ads right now are hair transplant
Hair
ads.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that went from being like translation shit for the Donnie Does trip, like different translation apps, to hair restoration apps. And
You want to go to Turkey? I'd go to Turkey.
I
with you.
would do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Turkey's like the capital for
Yeah.
this
Hair
kind of
trans-
I
cosmetic
wonder
See-
why that
surgery.
is.
I don't know. They have like resorts where you pay
Right.
the resort, they'll pick you up. You could have like a time, and then they give you a spot after the surgery where you could recover.
So your
It's
buddy
supposed to be
said
the
about
best and the cheapest, right?
Correct.
yeah, 12
It's
grand.
like way cheaper.
12 grand for one of the big ones out here.
Yes,
I think that's the
around
number
that
you gave
range,
me.
like 12 to 18 or something like that.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know for sure.
I mean, if you could
But,
knock
like-
it out for $5,000, I would fucking cut that check tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard Turkey's like $5 grand. You got to pay for the flight.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's that? Probably 50. I have no
I have
idea.
no
Who
idea.
know? I don't know what a
Whatever.
flight for Turkey. Hannah, you know, Ibiza,
I'll pull it up. Chicago to Istanbul.
Chicago to Istanbul.
Yeah.
See what it is. Danny, you know Istanbul by chance?
Haven't had the chance to go in there yet, but I hear it's great this time.
Let's see. We're
Thank
not
you.
bad. Not bad. If you were going to leave Sunday, April 9th, it costs you $1,000.
That's not bad at all.
Any other observations you had about the trip, Danny, that you want to go over besides hair?
I'll say this: Arizona was a lot like your Instagram feed, where they just naturally make you look at a bunch of hot girls when you don't want to really look at beautiful women at the time. And other than that, no, you could be sitting on the couch in Arizona and you get immediately dehydrated, even when it's not that warm. There's something there.
Yeah,
So
you guys were
was it-
dying.
we all, so
I
we
haven't recovered. We all got Hannah's lip gloss on.
we
for
all got
this.
Hannah's
Yeah.
lip gloss. We noticed right before that our lips were a little too shinier than we wanted them to be. I feel like we looked like the band Kiss. We're all just wearing lipstick, basically.
Tongues out.
Yeah.
We did. I was fucking almost in tears at the airport yesterday because you can pull up that picture.
This is gonna get
No, I
contentious.
wanted
I don't want-
absolutely
I don't-
nothing to do with this.
I don't want that, Danny. Don't. I don't want
No,
this to be
that-
contentious.
It's not going to be contentious. It was so we were drinking until like 4 in the fucking morning on Sunday into Monday. We had a 7 a.m. flight, so we're all on like 2 hours of sleep. And Ed's like, oh, man, you're done. And I'm like, Ed, take the content. We're on a fucking escalator. I don't want to do the whole let's talk about Dave's luggage thing right now.
I asked you. I was like, I'm going to snap pic.
Go ahead.
And you take selfies with you every time we go out.
Well,
You never told me not to.
In case
people like those pictures.
People
They're
don't know
wholesome.
what's wrong with this picture.
Okay, so for people who are just listening, so basically on the way back in, our flight was at 7 a.m., so we're all bags of shit. We lumped into a minivan at 5:30, and everyone's tired as fuck. And I noticed that Dave had 2 carry-on rollies, like rolly suitcases. And I looked at, like, Danny, I looked at all you guys. I'm like, how did you not tell me Dave just rolled up with double rolly? You're like, oh,
because it's not a big deal whatsoever, and
So-
nothing anybody would ever think to bring up to anybody
when
other
I
than you.
I wasn't in the mood.
Exactly, I wasn't in the mood. Nobody was in the mood. It was
I saw it on the way there. I just wasn't in the mood.
Listen.
Well, when I saw it, I thought I just assumed one was yours because you had the backpack too. Mm-hmm. So I thought one was yours and one was like Tom's because Tom has to travel with all the equipment. So like there's just extra bags. Like we're all kind of like grabbing stuff, helping each other. So I just thought that I didn't think you had 2 wheelies. I thought one of them belonged to someone else.
And I go,
I will
Dave.
say this: traveling as a camera guy has got to be the ultimate, just fucking shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
part of
one
the
worst
job.
parts of the job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of bags.
He says
a lot
yes.
of bags to check.
Out of the mic.
Yeah, well, it's
A lot of specialty bags too sometimes.
Yeah.
very expensive.
But
Yes,
here, I'll
that
break it
sucks.
down for you guys.
So hold on. So I'm like, Dave, I'm so intrigued. I'm like, Dave, we spent 2.5 days in Arizona. What necessitated 2 rollies?
I'll give you an exact breakdown. So
Can I ask something first for the people who are just tuning in? Is it weird to you that he had 2 rollies, or just that he tried bringing on like 3 bags without checking them?
No,
2
I
bags.
that was very intentional though.
Right, but
'Cause-
Eddie, why is Eddie freaking out? Because of the 2 rollies? Would it be different if he had a duffel on one and a rollie in the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure. But even like, yeah.
There's levels.
Correct,
There's levels.
Correct. I would say that'd be different. Yeah. Double rollie. I just
never
caught
go
me
double
off guard.
rollie.
And then the answer to the question was just as not crazy, but like made it even more comical. You're like, yeah, I brought one of the rollies is just filled with baseball equipment.
Yeah.
You're like, I was like, really? What'd you bring? Like your catcher's gear? He's like, no, I brought 4 mitts in case anyone asks us to play.
Not Ed. That's not what I said. I said in case we had a content opportunity arise, I had all that shit ready.
Boy Scout.
I don't know, like, so this is exactly it. People, especially women. Women take like a week to pack.
We're live.
They're like, we have like, it's like, oh, I got to pack for my trip to France. It's the truth though. They take like a week to pack. It takes me 10 minutes to pack. I have all my boxer briefs stacked in one drawer. I just grab what I know is enough to get me through the trip. I always come back with like 10 clean pairs of undies.
Okay.
Just to make it easy. Same thing with socks. Just shove them all in. I'll throw like 10 T-shirts in. I'll bring an extra pair of shoes or 2 in case of like a nice dinner or anything. And then in the second bag, it was 4 baseball mitts, cleats, and like baseballs and shit. Just in case like an opportunity arose. Because I knew where we were staying and we were right down the street from Canerco's high school, Paul Canerco. And like if something came up where we needed to hop on the baseball field, I was going to have that shit ready.
I would have gone and played catch with you.
I would have loved to.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. It's actually, it would have been
idea.
beautiful weather for
Or
it.
if the Sox asked you to get in a bat, you would be right there ready to go.
Yeah.
1000%.
They did. You guys probably didn't even see this because you were doing the interview, but they let all like these little kids and their dads on the field after the White Sox game, and I was just thinking, man, if we could have had Dave and Lance Lynn on there playing catch.
That would've been awesome. Were they playing catch with players?
It looked like
No,
a father and
it's
son
just
playing
like
catch
father and
together.
son.
Yeah.
daddy,
Oh, yeah,
daughter
yeah.
Stuff, but it was just like
That'd have
have,
been
like,
funny.
have you two guys.
That is where you guys fucked up in planning the trip. You should have not let me shave beforehand, before the interview.
I thought about that too, but you probably would have said no. You're not. You hate your beard.
It's not that I hate it. It's that it's very inconvenient to sleep with.
Oh, really?
Like when it gets
Like
to
the hair gets in your eyes and stuff.
no, it's itchy. Like I'll be laying on the pillow and it'll like rub wrong, and I'm like, get this fucking thing off my face. You got to get past that. Like once you're at like a Lance Lynn level, then it doesn't matter. But when you're on like the middle ground, I can't stand it.
That's why I need Restore. I need
For the face.
fill it.
You want to get a
facial?
little duo boondoggle?
If they let me,
Those freak me out though.
Why?
Because if you showed up with like a very clean, straight beard, you'd look weird.
Like Giolito. I couldn't
No.
stop obsessing over how handsome
Giolito's
Giolito
hot.
is.
He's a hot guy.
Well, I saw like only one picture, but it's like hair was like that's fucking good hair.
Yes.
You could just tell that he's got like the jawline, like the whole thing.
He's,
You
like,
would just look off
6'6".
if you got a beard transplant.
Does George Clooney look off? He got a beard transplant.
Yeah, but he like I don't know. It would just like look at the.
You don't want me to be handsome.
No.
You
There's
don't want
one
me to
guy
be
in the
handsome.
challenge who has one, and it was kind of like, it looks kind of a little too.
He really does
artificial.
look like a Sox fan.
How come you didn't? He looks a little bit like My Sox Summer too. How come you didn't do the Davy Stone face with him?
That's a good point.
For pictures, I usually don't. With like, for like promo clips for the show, I usually smile. I don't know. I just did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know if that's true.
Not true at all.
Like, but my other
No,
question-
not like when like these kind of pictures when I'm like posing with someone.
The only time I see you smile for pictures is your selfies with Ed, and then like the off one like this.
People love those selfies, and Ed hates them.
I don't hate him. I never tell you no.
You had your hand in front of my face.
Well, yeah, I got to change it up sometimes. I don't have to pose every time. I could give you like a little.
Could give him the Davy Stone face.
Yeah, exactly. I got to change it up.
Yeah, that's Eddie's bit.
Yeah.
But how come if this double rollie was filled with catcher's equipment or just mitts, why wouldn't you let me do an unboxing at the airport?
Do you want to know exactly why?
Yes.
Because I was hungover and we just got off a 3.5-hour flight and I wanted to go home, and I was like, the mission has been accomplished already for this weekend. I'm getting in a taxi. I'm going home.
I was fucking crying laughing at that. I was
going to
almost
say the funniest part about this, I was the first one off the plane. So like when I deboarded, I was waiting like at the gate for everyone else to come off. So I could see Eddie leaving the plane like with no cameras, anything. He was cracking up by himself alone.
legit.
Like just thinking about double
brought
rolling.
luggage.
And like I watched him walk over to me laughing.
So if I had like one of the big ass rollies, just one of them, that would have been fine.
Yes, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
But then
Exactly.
I'm kind of with you because you snuck the second one on, or did you pay
No,
the check?
I do that. I've done that. I should say I did that when I went to the Dominican, because that was a week long and we were constantly changing and shit. But I knew that they were gonna make me check a bag, but instead of checking it like before you get to the door,
you did it for free.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes that move smart. That's why you would go, I guess, double rollie. But
That's exactly what I did.
that's-
No, but
that's
he gets
why you
it
go
free
double.
if he checks it early too.
It would.
Yeah, he does. You
It
get one
depends on
free.
the airline. It depends on the
Yeah,
airline.
it depends on the
Yeah.
airline, but our situation, you get
But
one free.
typically,
But you gotta like go out of your way to check it and everything
Yeah.
instead of just
Sure.
walking up to the gate and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we gotta
We'll
check
tag
that.
it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I just imagine Dave going double rollie, but in a rush with both rollies behind him, running with both his arms back.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Danny was doing like an imitation. Just watch duel scenes. I was almost like 60% like Mr. Portnoy grievances draft laughing.
Oh, really?
At one point, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I was fucking dying.
when
at
we
one
got to
point.
Arizona, Dave's like, "Did you bring that football?" Like he was wanting me to bring.
I
this.
told you for like a week.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm not gonna like try to fit this football inside. Like I have one duffel bag that I bring, and I'm like, that's like I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So then, but like
Can you give me one of them, by the way? That's a sweet duffel bag.
they sent it to me.
I know.
Yeah,
Actually-
I probably can't.
And is there anything else Arizona worthy, or is there? I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton. Like, actually, I want to. We call Dante in here first. I don't know if he's watching.
Are we allowed to talk about the Dave's driving? I feel like we should talk about Dave's driving.
dude.
Yeah, I was in a minivan and we were packed to the gills.
So
and
you're the
I-
worst driver of all time.
I want no.
You've
well,
been in
no,
a
no,
car
no,
with me
no,
one time now.
because I feel like we talked about this a little bit on the way back from Milwaukee. I will credit Dave for keeping me alive because that was snowstorm, windshield wiper broke off from an 18-wheeler. Like it was like the most intense like white knuckle drive ever, and Dave did great. It was the exact opposite. You almost legit killed us by merging lanes and cutting people off.
Yeah. Mhm.
3
I
times.
didn't, though.
Three-
Credit to me.
3 times. Like it could have been like I was genuinely scared. Like I was like I'm gonna buckle up because I don't know if we're gonna survive this car ride.
I want you to start with this. I gave you the keys and said you drive, and you said you're too hungover, your head hurt or something.
No, it's because Giolito gave me a Zin, and I was.
Oh,
Like,
that's what it was. He was too buzzed from a Zin from Giolito.
I was like on Mars. I don't know why.
Dave had the double horseshoe going.
In that
on.
case, I'm surprised you didn't puke in that car multiple times from all the swerves.
Yeah, it was bad. We almost legit got in 3
Being on a
bad
tire
car
swing.
accidents. Dante, how are you?
I'm good. Arizona looked awesome.
It was fun.
fun.
So when we were at a bar, I think it was Saturday, that we ran into some people we knew, and they were in a debate. And the debate was, I'll let Chief lay the ground level.
Yeah, the debate was there's one guy who has like a close circle let's say like 3 or 4 girls, totally platonic, very good friends with, and the other buddy was like, and he like kind of lays down the law, like none of you guys, none of his friends are allowed to date one of his girls that he is like in his circle.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it was more one hit quit, like because that guy didn't want to hear about it.
You follow?
I want to know what your thoughts are.
Does
on
that
this.
guy have jurisdiction to be like, no, don't date my friends? Or
Was this
don't
guy-
don't hook up with my friends?
It was
All
like,
right.
yeah,
Questions.
Yeah.
Was this guy gay or straight?
He was
straight.
Straight guy.
Are you positive?
Yes.
100%.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Debatable. Okay.
Secondly,
Is he American? Call back.
secondly, was he? How hot were the girls?
They're cute. They're cute
Yeah.
girls. Yeah. You're like they're
Attractive?
attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was he attractive?
Nah.
No.
Yeah. Like, I don't
So
know.
is he one of those guys that just hangs around and floats around girls, hoping that one of them gets drunk one night and
that's not the
does
vibe
something
I got.
stupid with him?
That's not the vibe I got.
Well, why is he so possessive then?
He doesn't want to deal with
he
the
thinks that there
backlash
will
if it doesn't
be-
work out.
Right. So let's say like they hook up and like one of the parties gets upset that it's nothing more than a hookup, then he's like, I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of it, and it's like I have to deal with the phone calls and my point was like,
Why are you friends with girls?
no, not even that. I don't care if you have friends with girls or not, but it's like you're not in the middle of it. It's only those two people, and you might get like an odd text and you just be like, I don't know, talk to the guy, talk
Yeah,
to
I'm
the girl.
staying out of it.
Yeah.
Keep me the fuck out of it. Yeah.
And then that's the end of it. That would be that's how I would read that situation. And
How did you guys get dragged into this?
I don't
it,
know.
it was
Yeah.
just like a round table discussion at a bar because it had just happened with that little group.
If I could clear things up just a little from the baby table, it seemed like this guy's girlfriends were like his legitimate like best friends. So if that makes it different, like it's kind of
The
unavoidable
way he
for him.
described it is he like knew most of them like his whole life, like family, friends, and shit.
But would a relationship be okay?
A
with
relationship
this guy
was not what that guy was talking about. From what I understood, I was talking
No, but
like the way I understood it was more like, oh, they're gonna, and girls obviously get emotional, as do guys sometimes here and there.
Totally.
And
Hand
yeah,
up.
we all have been there.
This guy's an idiot. If he knew anything, he would never make that public, because the minute you tell a girl, stay away from that guy, you can't hook up with him,
he's a bad
they're
seed.
fucking- yeah,
But
they're
like that
fucking
in
him.
this situation, the guy, it doesn't even seem like he thought the guy was a bad seed. He was just like, it probably just won't work, because that's like the odds are that, like you have like one marriage and however many hookups in your life. But my thing was like, look, if they're consenting adults, it really has nothing to do with you. And you're not like, whatever your fear of the backlash or the fallout, it's not going to be that. It's just,
But it could be that. That's where that's like, because Ryan and I started putting ourselves in like the position as if that was happening to us at the time. The way I saw it is like, dude, like I wouldn't want to be in that position at all.
Yeah.
To have to answer to one part or the other, because
that's
you're the
where-
mutual friend that the two
Oh,
parties.
it's the absolute worst.
Exactly.
If you have younger sisters, fucking nightmare scenario. You already know.
I have 4 sisters,
younger.
and 3 or younger. Yeah,
All right. So did any of your friends date your sisters? growing up?
they knew.
Dave gets a new sibling each
knew.
episode.
One of my yeah, I didn't know you had that many sisters.
I have 4 sisters and a brother. Yeah, 6
Oh
of us.
wow, that's a fucking big family. All right, so one of my best friends in high school dated my younger sister, and it was like a civil war.
Yeah.
It was not
Really?
good.
I-
But that's family. This isn't like
exactly.
So
This-
that's where
the- it-
the debate spiraled
Yeah.
because
The
Dave
no,
sided
the
with
original
family.
debate was
I'm
they said like longtime family friends, like going to each other's family weddings and stuff. That's
all right,
where,
so basically family.
yeah, basically family. Yeah,
So he's like a big brother looking out for his younger sisters.
yeah,
kinda.
No,
that's
not it.
that was most of it. Yeah,
If that's the case, I can see he's being protected.
it wasn't
that's not
that.
how
It
it
wasn't that he
was.
was being protective. It was that he didn't want because,
You
like
didn't-
Ryan said, consenting
The
adults.
guy didn't want to have to choose should something.
Yeah, like say that guy is at Declan's with his group of boys and like the girl hit him like, hey, what are you doing today? Like I'm in town or something. Like let's go over to the bar, and I'll be like, sorry, I'm with him right now. Like
I'm surprised you
Yeah.
didn't try to fucking snatch one of these girls up. It sounds like right in your fucking wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe one day.
You and party
Well,
boy,
that's
you and
where-
party boy Danny over here.
That's where the debate stemmed, though. Dante is Dave took the guy's side,
Yeah.
and then Chief took the opposite side. So then they got into a debate.
Right.
So then that's where it's like, oh, then it was just a whole thing.
And I also just don't think like, I just don't like that. I just think that's like an irrational. Like you're putting yourself like too much into it. It's just not your problem to deal. Like it's honestly, it would not be your problem to deal with.
But he said he's like it. He woke up to text messages or a phone call or something from the girl, and was like, "What's going on here? Like, is he single?" Or I'm like, and he was like, "I don't fucking know what you're talking about. Like, leave me out of this. This isn't
Exactly."
But and then he went on to say, in order to keep it from like spiraling at any point, whether it would or wouldn't, I think he doesn't know, but like, you just nip it in the bud early and like kind of lay down the law, you know.
Yeah.
Are we have mic?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
To throw in a phrase here that this guy I think
But
used
if,
is
like,
like,
if
okay, yeah,
the-
go on.
if he would have said like, "Oh, this guy was earnestly trying to like date one of these girls," I think it would have been completely fucking different
Yeah.
than just like, "Oh, we're gonna go on a little sex romp after everybody's fucking wasted one night."
Sure.
That was the difference.
But I would say that, and what I said was that like this is how people meet, like groups of friends, and it's like, oh, you know the same person. It's kind of like a vetting process.
Yeah,
like if we're
for
both
sure.
friends with the same person, like that's how people meet. And like to your point about it was your younger sister.
Yeah.
My parents been married for 40 years. He married his college buddy's younger sister, and they're together for 40 years. And then my cousin, her husband was.
But you're talking like long-term marriage. That's not what
But
the
they
other
don't.
guy was
But
talking
I
about.
don't know. Like that's how. But like sometimes relationships just start that way.
Yeah.
Like you don't know
Sure.
who you like until like you start. You know, it has to start somewhere. You don't start with marriage.
Yeah,
It's not
of course.
like Love
Yeah.
is Blind. Like we both know the same guy.
I'm still
Let's-
pissed you didn't do that show, by the way. But continue.
I tried to do that show. They said that they were a cultural phenomenon. They didn't.
They didn't
want
wanna deal with Barstool.
Barstool's audience.
Fucking
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that was the reason.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to the fifth. They got
didn't
to
know
the
that?
fifth round, and they're like,
This
and
would
they're
have
like, we don't think you're here for the right reasons. I'm like, oh no, what? Like, totally am.
not.
Totally.
I've never watched a show, and not to derail the convo,
Yeah.
but I think about this regularly. Like, it's one of those things where I'll be like walking and getting groceries and picking up Cheerios and stuff, and I'll think about it and
all
just
the
start laughing
necessities.
in like the middle of the grocery store, and people look at me because I envision the like camera or the wall blocker like coming
Yeah.
up, and you're just like 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, that was gonna be my
Yeah.
plan for Love Is Blind. Was that I was gonna intentionally gain like 100 pounds.
like
and
just
then-
pizza every day
Yeah.
during
Just
that
be
summer.
like,
Just
wow.
get as
Yeah.
fat as
And
fuck.
then be like, I thought you loved me for my personality, and see what they say.
Just like they knew you. They sniffed it out. You weren't out there for the right reasons.
No,
Yeah,
they
you
were
were up-
totally right.
Yeah.
They were totally right.
Yeah.
And but I think their thing was, it was like we don't want someone coming on here for just the Instagram following, because that's what like tipped my. I like looked up the guy from season 1 who was like one of the main storyline guys, and at that time he had like 980,000 followers. I'm
Oh,
like,
no
I'm sold.
You're in,
Like,
yeah.
I will see you
That's
in August. Yeah.
$908,000 basically. That's a lot of money you can.
How
turn
often
that
do you
into.
go in to get Cheerios?
I was just using Cheerios because it was
As an
the first thing
expression?
that popped in my head, but I haven't had Cheerios in a long time. Ed.
Dude, Cheerios actually kind of up in their game. They got like a bunch of new
Chocolate
shit.
ones.
Yeah, like shit
Can-
like that.
Can we give Dave a little props or something for the Arizona trip?
What's that?
He was Chef Davey.
He was.
Yeah.
Chef Dave.
Yeah,
I like
so-
doing that kind of stuff, and
breakfast burritos for the house
Nice.
both mornings. Then he did
Well, he's
burgers,
up.
burgers
He's
and
up
dogs.
early every day.
Yeah, like we were, but
Ryan and
like
I
he
are both,
wanted to
yeah.
like man the grill. He
That's
was like
great.
man of the grill night one.
I'm surprised you didn't veto that.
Dave's a good cook.
I can do basic shit like that.
Yeah,
All right.
Not like you.
yeah, not as good as you. You're,
I mean, I'm a one-trick
We
pony.
Ed and I always talk
Nah,
about that.
that's not
Still,
true
what was that
either.
like 4 years ago on the 4th of July? You just had those grill burgers.
they're
And they
like
were,
best-
unbelievable.
Best
burgers.
grilled burger I've ever had in my
Those are
life.
pretty good
Those
fucking
were
burgers.
good.
Not gonna
Your meatballs are fire too. I remember I went to your place for Christmas one year, and it was like the spread you had for just like a casual Christmas. I think we did like karaoke or something. It was fucking awesome.
Could we get more on the 5-year anniversary?
Of the
Yeah, it's
4th of
this
July.
July.
Yeah.
it'll be
When
this
was that?
year.
A long time ago. Fuck.
Fuck yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
it
long
was
ass
That
time ago, dude.
fucking pandemic just like crushed 3 years to like they don't even exist.
I know we
You
should.
know what though? I kind of like that you could size it up though. You know, like I kind of know
Before
like
and
3
after.
years.
Yeah,
yes.
the before and after, right.
No, it's a good call. We should run it back this year.
We should. All right, let's talk about the Barstool Sports book here for a second, Tom. And then grab Will. We could get Will in here as well. Attention, Massachusetts, the founding home of Barstool Sports. It is now the latest state to offer the Barstool Sports book. So if you're in Massachusetts, download the Barstool Sportsbook app and sign up today to take advantage of our Cue the Duck Boats offer. Any cash wager of $5 or more will earn new users $50 bonus bet on the Celtics to win the NBA championship and a $50 bonus bet on the Bruins to win the Cup. Terms do apply. The Barstool Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Barstool Sports and the only place to find exclusive bets and odds boosts from your favorite Barstool personalities. And there's all the great features you want in your sportsbook. They got live in-game betting, Parlay Plus to bet within the same game or across sports, move the line, and teaser bets. Easy to secure for registration, deposits, and withdrawals as well. So remember, Massachusetts, this is the one and only Barstool Sportsbook. Must be 21 plus. If you or a loved one has experienced problems with gambling, call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start with GameSense. Visit GameSenseMA.com.
We're also the only sports book that didn't fuck up their rollout. Can we
Really?
not- yeah,
Well, I don't. We should. I'm terrified to talk about the sports book now.
Yeah.
So let's say as little
Let's
as
leave
possible.
it. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
being
yes.
honest.
I don't even
They-
wanna talk-
like ever since we got bought by Penn, it's like I read that
It's an-
ad word for word and I don't say anything.
It's
else.
it's a fucking awesome. It's a hilarious story about the competitors. Won't mention any names.
I don't want to do it. I'm not
Ed-
kidding.
Ed-
I'm not
or
kidding.
Dante.
Right? You're like. Do you agree with me?
Just stop talking,
terrified.
Dante.
Yes,
I'm
please.
terrified. Cut his mic.
Yes.
Cut his
Yes.
mic.
Guys,
please
it's
don't.
not bad.
Cut his mic.
I don't care
Cut his
though.
mic.
That doesn't mean
Cut his
I don't
mic.
want a text from Miami, Florida, telling me what the fuck are you doing? You're an idiot. So
Yeah.
I would love to hear off mic.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, we could have talked about that.
It doesn't
Maybe
matter.
we will,
It's not
but like
worth
I'm
the risk
telling
right
you,
now.
the way that they flip things now since
Yeah.
the merger, it's like it's like a different ballgame. They like
right.
put the fear of God into you.
It's a nice teaser. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. If we
Maybe
could ever
Thursday.
They
talk
got
about it,
access to Google. They can go
Yeah.
pop whatever they want in that
so, yeah.
little thing.
Will Burge, Barstool Cleveland. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. So we do have the sportsbook live in Ohio as well.
We do, yeah.
Where Dante,
been there a while.
congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
The Ibiza of the Midwest, your Cleveland bar.
Sure is.
So Will wrote a blog. So what is that? What was those awards? It was like an EDM award.
Yeah, it's a big yearly thing. Right now is Music Week down in Miami. They do all like ultras there. You saw Dave went to ultra all weekend
Yeah, I
with.
saw that. Yeah.
I passed on that.
You're supposed to go to Ultra.
You're looking tan though.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, hold on.
weather was unfucking.
You guys were in
believable.
Arizona, and somehow he's 10 times tan.
It was like
than anybody
60
in the
degrees.
room.
It was
Yeah.
chilly in
It takes me
Arizona.
like 3 hours in actual sunlight, which we don't get here in Chicago till
June.
And
June.
weirdly enough, I feel like we weren't even outside that much.
I got a little.
Danny and I were for the
Yeah.
baseball game.
Yeah.
Dave's
And
got some red.
Yeah, and I gunked on Tom's sunscreen too.
No, it's good. You got some color too.
Yeah, well, it's the
But-
first time I was on site, but I got like I get red and then it just kind of goes away the next
Who
day.
cares? It's color.
Yeah.
How good does it make you feel?
Oh no, it was probably the first time I haven't been depressed in like 6 months.
It's unbelievable. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
People laugh.
Yeah.
It's
No.
a fucking
Yeah.
real thing.
Yeah, no, it
Seasonal
felt great.
depression.
And all I was
no
doing
joke.
was like standing in the outfield concourse. And it was just like letting the sun.
How nice is it to be just watch baseball, drink a few lattes?
It was beautiful. It's like we're
It's the
we're
greatest
there.
thing on earth.
Which stadium to go to?
Camelback.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
White Sox Dodgers.
White
the
Sox.
Guardians
Yeah.
and the Reds are such dog shit.
Oh, terrible.
And the
Really?
A's.
Yeah.
The rest of them
Oh,
were fine.
They're
Didn't
first
the
of all,
Guardians almost go to the World Series last year, Dave?
He's talking
about their
he's talking
facilities
the stadium,
in Arizona.
The facility.
Oh, their place.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I mean, they
so
went to the
it's like
playoffs.
it's
This guy
way
fucking gets one award in Cleveland. He's
No,
like,
I'm just.
take it easy, bro.
I thought he was talking about the teams in general.
All right,
No,
sorry.
so first of all, it's nowhere near Scottsdale. It's like what 45 minutes away.
No,
so
no,
it's
no,
fucking
no.
far.
Well,
man.
have you
They're in
seen?
Litchfield Park, I believe, which is like 20,
You
25
can do
minutes
the whole
from
state of
downtown
Arizona in
Scottsdale.
one day.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the background of the stadium, which is nowhere near Scottsdale compared to the other ones, is it's an airplane graveyard. So like you have this
kinda
great,
cool.
Yeah, I mean it is cool, but like it looks like eerie when you look at it from like on any of their social media or anything. Everybody else is like beautiful women and palm trees, and there's just like old
Red
broken down
Rock Mountains in the
fucking-
background. Yeah.
yeah, airplanes broken down in the background.
Sloan's
terrible.
unbelievable.
Sloan's nice.
It's unbelievable.
So mad I didn't
Oh, yeah,
get
we
out
did,
there.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
did.
Sloan's nice. It's new. It's the newest. Our talking stick's the
They
newest.
crushed it. It's unbelievable.
They're all nice, other than those.
and there's
three.
a Portillo's right next door, which is awesome.
I swear to God, that Portillo's is better than any Portillo's out here. I don't know if it's because that's the one thing I hate about the Phoenix area is the food is just in general dog shit.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so I forget one of the last times I was out there, I hit that Portillo's and I was like, holy fuck, this is good.
You know why I think? I think because the private equity group hasn't gutted it like it gutted all these other ones.
that
yet.
makes sense.
Honestly, man, it's like pretty sad with
Yeah.
So people like you and Sturk were like telling me after that merger, you guys were like quality fucking fell off. Blah, blah. I thought you guys were just hating. I went a few weeks ago and I was like, what did they do to my fucking chicken sandwich?
dude.
He literally just told me outside that I need to get Italian beef at Portillo's. That's
But
literally what
here-
you just told me. 15
If you
minutes
go to
ago.
the right location, and they're largely like it's fine, like it's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's
not,
fine.
not what it
it's
was
not like
10
the
years
food's,
ago.
and
Yeah.
it's more so like I walked in, and before that, have someone like, and not that I needed this, they'd have someone like singing the numbers when they call you up, and they'd play like the classical music, and the place was just buzzing. Now it's like a DMV.
Oh.
You're right. 39, you're online.
Yeah, exactly. 77 in heaven, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Our guy Dukes put Portillo's a good way. Everything from Portillo's is like a 7 or an 8.
Yes.
It didn't used to be. It used to be everything was like phenomenal.
But for how much they pump out,
But I
like,
think
that's
7 or 8
always
is
the
good.
That's pretty good quality.
Yeah, they got a good variety. That's they
I would
do
say now it's
everything
like
well.
6-ish, 6.5. It's completely edible and fine. Their burgers were my favorite things on the menu.
Very
Their
underrated.
Burgers
Love the
were.
burgers.
I haven't had one. and I don't-
Charbroiled, very
so
underrated.
So good.
Yeah, very
That was my
underrated.
order when I would go.
Yeah,
I
that's
would get a burger
probably my
every
favorite
time.
thing there.
So we were talking about it because Will asked, he goes, I got to get an Italian beef while I'm here. Where did I go? I said, Johnny's, but it's
yeah,
so
you're
far
not gonna
out
get
for
out
you.
there.
And
Yeah.
Uber there and back is going to be $100. But I said, I go downtown, ask the guys when they're on the show. They'll tell you. I was like, there's a good Al's. Portillo's is solid, surprisingly. But, I mean, where would you guys
What
tell
part
them?
of the city you staying
Downtown, I
in?
mean, you can't count them.
I'm down like River North area.
Okay, I would say Choppers is awesome. Jay's is down there. I mean, where you can just like get them delivered.
Jay's closed.
Did
Did
they?
it?
Yeah, there's still the one in Harwood Heights, but they closed.
What
that
do you
one.
think the Uber would
The
be
hat's good?
from River North to Al's in Little Italy? It's probably not too
Not
bad.
bad.
No.
Yeah, so
Not
I would
bad.
probably say go to Al's.
15 minutes.
Al's
like
in
that,
Little
yeah.
Italy? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you flew here?
Yeah. No, I drove
no
out.
shit.
Drove
Oh,
out
okay.
myself.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never had an Italian beef. Like never had one in my life.
We
so
should
Should have just made you one.
Yeah, shit. We
actually
got
make
these
sure
on
you
our
bring one of
table.
those home.
Yeah.
TasteRealChicago.com
yeah.
if anyone wants to fucking try what we're talking about.
Yeah, go to JP's and get a beef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't.
Honestly,
I don't think
there's
they
a-
carry them right now.
Yeah, you could buy you could buy a box. Just go buy a crock box too then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What are you doing in town?
My son's on spring break, so he had
Oh,
a couple
nice.
days off in baseball. It's within driving distance. He requested someplace tropical and sunny, so I was like, "Yeah, fuck you. We're going to Chicago." How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice
You got
little 5-6 hour drive.
Yeah, it was like 5 hours, 20
Yeah.
minutes. It's nothing. You know what I mean? It's in. I enjoy it here because I either go, kind of halfway between here and New York, and I like it here because I feel like New York is like one solid base of it smelling like shit and just angry people around you all the time. I feel like you get like a wave of different stuff around here. I like that.
You have to come into our office to get angry people smelling.
Yeah,
shit.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that covered.
Wait until he tries to like make fun of my fucking shoes next. He'd be like, "Can you believe Dave's got white shoelaces?" And it'll be like, "Ed, no one cares about shoelaces." And then he'll just keep peppering you about the shoelaces.
But did you see the double rolly conversation?
Credit to me for keeping my cool about it because I didn't
You
want to
did.
have
Hey,
it.
you
I
did.
watched. I heard it, and
We
I,
did. We
I
were-
thought exactly what Danny said. I was just imagining you like pulling it like a little kid taking out the trash in the morning to the curb.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's
To
just,
him.
like dragging along the driveway.
Yeah.
What do you use the moving walkway? Because I feel like you take up the whole thing. Like
He's got one
Yeah,
in front
use
and
it.
one behind him.
he's doing like that. Superman.
Honestly, I might have done that on the moving walkway.
How far are you from becoming like Jim McMahon, sunglasses 24/7?
In an airport, I have sunglasses on 100% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, one, on the plane, I'm trying to sleep. Two, in like the gate, I'm usually completely fucking stoned out of my skull. So I need to hide that from people.
Responsibly stoned.
Responsibly stoned.
Yeah. So let's just tell thousands of people.
If you ever see me in the airport, chances are I've consumed
That's so. If you see David at airports, go up to
1,000
him, dude, are you
milligrams.
high?
You look so high right now.
Dude, you gotta do
Does
that
he get
so
paranoid
hard.
about it? Do you get paranoid about it?
No.
No. Okay.
I've never gotten paranoid from
Yeah,
it.
I've never really done that either.
Yeah, you don't
But
care.
I just sit there and just like I sit there and think about all my enemies and all the people that have wronged me, and I just like get
Yeah, you're-
continually more angry.
That
at
doesn't
You,
make
everybody
you consume
around
a
me.
little cannabis and you get super chill.
Yeah.
Just- yeah.
Enemies.
I don't feel
Your
good about
ops.
that. Am I on that enemy list?
Sometimes.
Sometimes when you
Hey.
try to get me to open my suitcase in the middle of an airport,
It was gonna be at the movie or the luggage thing.
I gotta say, you didn't freak out about criticism of driving or the rolly thing. You handled
well,
both
the
of those things
criticism
well.
of driving, we can talk a little more in depth about that. So
Good
we
job
got a
by you, dude.
minivan. I had this idea in my head because we interviewed a bunch of Sox players, where it'd be like James Corden's, like comedians, whatever it's called, the
Singing
comedians
in
driving
cars or whatever. Yeah.
and they fuck around like
Jerry
that.
Seinfeld.
And well, same premise.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Carpool karaoke.
Carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
And
Big
I was like,
Game
oh, we're going to get these because Lance Lynn and Giolito are both like 6'6", like huge fucking dudes. So that was, and then we get the minivan. I'm like, you know what? This ain't going to work. So I hit up the Sox. They put me in this like office in their offices, this little side office in their larger office. And it worked out great. But on the way home, like Ed said, Giolito offered up some Zyn, and I was fresh out. So I was like fiending, you know? And like ready to scratch my eyes out. And Ed and I both obliged him. And obviously I can handle my dip. Ed doesn't dip.
Is that your first Zen?
No.
Zyn, I will
I've had
say,
it before.
I dip constantly. It's weird that I don't have one in right now. Zyn fucks me up.
That shit's intense.
Zyn's
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't
very
my first
intense.
one, but
Yeah.
I don't do it often. And
So to Ed's point, like
I was seeing
I
mirages.
underst-
I saw
Yeah, I don't
Wild
like that
Coyote
shit.
out there.
Yeah.
I understood it.
It was fucked up.
I can see why he was fucked up. So I drove, but Tom was in the bucket seat to my like back and right, and the blind spot on the mirror, on the side mirror, and when I couldn't see around Tom and his camera equipment, it was. I kept saying, I'm like, I cannot fucking see out of the side of the car, and I would just try to guess and hope cars weren't flying past
On the highway.
good-
Sometimes
good
they
strategy.
were.
Your guess rate was not great.
But I merged a bunch of times, and you guys never criticized me or congratulated me for a successful merge. It was I only heard the criticisms.
Driving's a long snapper kind of job, dude.
Yeah, yeah, that's
That's
true.
all that it
It
comes
is.
down to.
That is true.
Yeah, that because you were getting contentious in the car when we're like, Jesus, Dave, you're like, it's in my blind spot. Tom's head's too big. Like I can't. Fucking
He's the
see
one
it."
who said, "Is my head too big?" And I didn't want to be a dick and be like, "Yeah, Tom, I can't see you around that melon."
He's got a big one.
I swear to God, the blind spot. If there was a car like directly to your right, I couldn't see it. I could not see the car, and we got home safe though. It was just a little scary.
We did. Dante, what's your like city power rankings at now? Do you Cleveland more than Chicago now?
No, fuck no.
No?
I mean, I do not like people talking badly about Cleveland because I think it's undeserved. I think Cleveland is a very underrated.
Do you agree with
city.
that?
For the most part, yeah. I think
you
there's
born,
there's
raised-
definitely valid criticisms of Cleveland.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
100%. There
there's
is of
plenty.
every city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no sunshine.
Yeah.
People are sad and angry half the year.
Well, it
but
was-
summertime, I put it up against not anywhere, but very, very many cities besides beach cities. I put Cleveland up against it. For
Do
sure.
you guys have a like makeshift beach like we do?
We got one Edgewater downtown. Yeah, there's like if you want to go out and float on a mattress.
bro,
there's
you
some
went to
needles.
Put-in Bay.
it's-
Put-in Bay, baby.
That's
Put-
not.
No, I see.
Cleveland,
I don't
though.
claim Put-in Bay. We're not going to claim.
No,
we
no,
don't
you-
lump
you
that in.
should.
with
That might as well be
Cleveland. No.
Canada.
I feel like Cleveland's had like a little
kinda
renaissance.
far,
Remember that video where it was like the Cleveland tourism? It was like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
viral YouTube
Yeah.
video. I feel like maybe it was more warranted then, and it's not now. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's fair.
100%.
Back then, there was literally one bar/club, and there was like 2 buildings. Now they've only built like 2 more buildings since then, but there's a hell of a lot more bars and clubs and places
Yeah.
to go out and great. I mean, the food scene's amazing out there.
Well, I've read that before, where a lot of Midwest cities like fucked up, where like Cleveland and Detroit, where you guys could have done what we did with our lake and put like nice beaches and shit like that.
We have nothing on the lake.
Just
Nothing.
never
Just
happened.
nothing. We have a giant airport that like 4 planes go out.
Yo,
every year.
remember
It's insane.
remember Miggs Field,
Yeah.
which we had here?
Yeah.
Northern Ireland.
They have something just like that. It's right next to the football stadium, and it's beautiful lakefront, like fucking beautiful lakefront, and it's just all
Turn that into a
useless.
concert venue.
Dude, there's nothing. Like there's a huge factory. There's the football stadium, which they use 8 days a year, and then there's this airport, which I don't know. It's private, right?
It's a private airport. There's literally in the entire city, I think, 3 restaurants on the lake. Like, you can find stuff on the river, but in a huge city like that, I think there's 3. And one of them's an an Irish place. It's like a pub. It's on the lake, which is dope spot.
What's wrong with that?
I know it's great, but it's not what you'd think the first 3 places on a lake would be in a place. You know what I mean?
They fucked up.
Wait, Will, do you not claim Put-in Bay because it's too far, or because it's like the trashiest place on earth?
Because it's the trashiest place on earth.
It's also kind of far.
Some of the
too.
most
It's
fun
like-
I've ever had, though.
Well, no, because I definitely claim Cedar Point, and it's like right there. I just chop off. I give Put-in Bay. Detroit can have that. I don't want anything
It's a
to do with that.
destination you have, nonetheless, though. It'll bring up the average a little.
Ed goes there yearly.
I do.
Ed has a house
I
there.
signed a
You're a
5-year.
sick
I
fuck.
signed a 5-year extension 2 years ago.
Ed's got a Put-in-Bay cottage.
I went for the
Timeshare.
first time in years last summer, and after the first night, I was like, I got to get out of here.
It
I
is
got to
the
get the fuck out of this place.
You down to going on a house with me on Put-in Bay?
trashiest.
Dude, fuck yeah. I've been
Really?
waiting for you to invite me for like 3
No, I'll
years
like
now.
buy one.
Oh.
You're my investor.
No, you can't. You're not allowed to do that.
A little
I don't
different
know now.
conversation.
I don't
Let's
know now.
focus on your bar.
You owe
theme
me
first.
900 if you're giving him money. Grand.
For what?
I'm reopening that bar across the street from Kings of Mines.
Oh, God. You're still on that?
Yes, I'm still on that.
Dave,
Dude, you're about fucking 500 grand over what that would cost.
No. Well,
Yeah.
that's what they're asking. I called them and asked. They said 910 grand. I got 10 grand I can give you, and then you need to give me the rest.
Dude, they would take $50K and fucking do jumping
Then
jacks.
give
if
me
you offered it to 'em.
$40K.
They
got you
quoted
now.
you 900,000.
910.
You probably.
That was about a year ago. I called.
That's
I
probably
remember-
like
it's
the
a
cost of the fucking
it's
building.
building
like-
included?
630-974-5600
You're
is
right.
the door
it's
on the
probably
sign.
for the building. You're right, Chief.
Yeah, it's the price of the building.
Gotta be the
I don't know,
price.
whatever
Just
it
do a
is.
fucking lease and open up the place.
With what money?
Dante's.
I'd like to see you own a place.
That's all I would do though is just rehire every. And this is Blues
I'd give
Bar.
you a month.
I
I'd
would
give you a
re-
month
No,
before you
I
were
wouldn't
like,
have anything to do with it. I would rehire every single person that was already there and just be like, go do what you did
Why?
before.
Why did
simple.
that? Why did they
Easy.
go out of business?
Pandemic.
I'd like to see you run a
So
place
so
into the
now
ground.
now I don't hate that idea as much because if they were just a
You
pandemic,
told me it was too close to Wrigley. That's what you told me. I'm like, that's not even close to Wrigley. It's like Diversey and Halstead.
Can you imagine Dave's bar? John Taffer would be there within 48 hours.
It wouldn't be my bar.
Well, I was gonna say
I would just be like a.
charity case. It's a
I,
charity
I
case.
just want the bar open so I can go to it. I'll pay with the same price as everybody else.
It would,
No, I
it would be
wouldn't.
like, remember when Simpsons, when Moe's turned into like a family restaurant? He
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
shit on that little kid. That'd be like him, like day one, right out of the gate. Oh, you want a soda pop?
It was my favorite place on earth.
Speaking of drinking, I have a little bone to pick with the guy at the kids' table over my left shoulder.
Wow, what's his deal?
Did you guys watch his airplane vlog yesterday?
Yeah.
I
heard
blind
about it.
retweeted it. I haven't seen it yet.
All right. It was good. Danny's vlogs are very fucking
Yeah,
entertaining.
Yeah.
That's
But
why I
here's the-
blind retweeted.
But here's the
You
thing.
got a big buck coming.
It was totally fabricated because this kid is like this story.
The poor man.
I showed up at the airport and I was so tired. I just wanted a nice, relaxing sleep on the plane, and these people next to me wanted to turn up and drink.
Dude, you're fucking degenerate.
We had
Drinker.
we had
Dante, you don't know what you're talking about with this
No.
guy.
I'm
This
not a-
guy.
No. The guy on the plane was
Yeah.
unlike
I
anybody.
saw him. Danny was showing him. He was fucking.
We had
Dude.
the Urlacher interview as soon as we landed. We had 15 minutes,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to be too tipsy. And he's a United member, so he was getting like unlimited
Dude,
drinks.
this guy.
So after the third one, I'm like, all right, we have a problem here.
This guy, like, you could hear, like, I was 10 rows up. Everybody around me at one point during the flight, like, had to take their headphones off. Be like, what the fuck's going on in the back of the plane? And it's just this, like, frat bro, like, former frat bro guy with, like, Oakley glasses, just be like, who wants shots? He's got, like, double-fisted Michelob Ultras. The loudest human, including babies, which there was also, like, a demon
That was
baby
my
on,
row.
on that plane. He was the loudest guy I've ever heard on a plane. It was like he thought he was flying private to Vegas. That's how he was behaving.
screaming for the cart girl to hurry up when she was halfway down.
Yeah, this is not a normal.
I
it's
had-
not like it wasn't like he was turning down like a couple casual airport beers. This guy was. He had a problem.
He was getting after it.
Yeah,
I had my headphones in and they were tapping me still.
Did you?
I got up to pee one time just so I could laugh at how miserable Danny looked.
You kind of left it vague, like you didn't want to make any allegations. But if you had to bet on it, did he bang that chick in the bathroom?
I mean, no way. But they were both gone for a suspicious amount of time. Like
At
I
the
said.
same time.
Yes.
Where do you go?
He was standing.
nowhere to go.
He was standing for a quarter of the flight. If that tells you any more.
He was
about
trying to get a
him.
little private section where they could talk. He went to the back where they keep like the food and stuff.
No, like he was going just to like chat it up with flight attendants because he just thought he could do that.
It was.
All right, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
stand
credit to you.
corrected.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
so
we
glad
Need, we need more of that on this show.
I didn't hear this guy at all
corrected.
because I was way ahead of him. But like, I'm trying to visualize. I'm like, this is probably a 22, 23-year-old
40.
kid. Yeah, he was
38.
He was a fully grown adult, and Chief and I are waiting for him. We're not waiting for him, but we're waiting at the gate for like these guys to get off the plane, and he points them out, and it was just instant hatred.
Yeah. Dave's like, oh, I hate him.
What was the?
I hated him.
I don't blame you.
immediately.
What was the occasion? Like, why was he?
He was alone.
He said, he said he was meeting 11 buddies in Arizona for spring training.
I also judge people that have 11 buddies.
Yeah,
that's too many. Like,
absolutely.
what are you,
not.
in high
Was
school?
he trying to give her a cigar because she had gone through a death? Because that's a.
Nah, just out of
She's
topic.
just
he was like, I
randomly
have
giving-
cigars if
Oh,
you're
okay.
interested. I said, maybe not here, dude.
Not at 35,000 feet.
Yeah,
No.
please.
Yeah.
We were, for what it's worth, we were second to last row, too. so.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah, if you were on that plane, you heard him.
I was cranking music the entire way while falling asleep a little bit, and the baby, I could still hear, and that baby was Satan.
I called shotgun
But it sounds
for
like
Danny
they
in the
were-
rental car because I'm like, he had the worst flight I've ever seen. Like, this guy was unbelievable. He was that bad.
Why didn't one of you guys just tell him to shut the fuck up?
I'm surprised the flight attendants. No one complained.
I think he was mean.
I mean,
He's a
dude,
big
that-
United member,
this
United
guy's-
Plus.
Oh, was he?
They knew his name.
This guy's probably going to see this.
Oh yeah, probably.
If he went on
he
a
was
guy's trip
cocksucker.
at a White Sox game with
Yeah.
11 buddies, like
You know what?
I would
He
bet
probably
money
wasn't.
that-
that fucking
I
easy.
wasn't necessarily talking shit about him in the vlog. I was just letting everyone know what kind of person
What
I was
time? We
dealing
flew
with.
out, I think, at 1:26 p.m.
Something like that.
It
Yeah.
was 1:26
Here's an
on
awful
Friday.
picture. You
A
make up your
United
mind.
flight from Chicago O'Hare to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport.
So he probably got banged up at the airport before he even stepped
yeah.
foot on
Bro.
the plane. He just had to keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
sure.
I thought Danny was exaggerating for social media, but
No.
it sounds like he was
He's
undersold
undersold
it.
it. Yeah.
Do you like it that everyone uses you as their backer now, Dante? Like everyone's got like a business idea and they're like,
Well, he owns restaurants.
he's got like 7 now. How many
Yeah.
do you have?
A lot, but I don't like own them 100%.
Well,
I
I know.
have backers, and it's the hardest fucking thing in the world to get.
It is.
It's the hardest thing in the
I
world.
got 10 grand for you.
That's why when I see like Shkreli and all these other fucking like Sam Bankman-Fried, who people are just like, take all our money, and it's scams. I'm like, how? How?
Yeah.
The Madoff thing, I was pacing in my fucking living room
Yeah,
watching
but
that.
that's people who invest in shit that in most of those cases that you just named, or at least in Sam Bankman-Fried, is in stuff that's not even like tangible.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's
like the
it's
people who
yeah.
buy like
a concept.
It's like they don't.
Agreed. It's even worse.
Well, it's like they don't really understand it, and they just want to be on the next big thing. So they
I think
just
that's
like,
a lot of it. Yeah,
and then they
But
just throw their money around. It's like, oh fuck, I lost everything.
There's plenty of suckers in the restaurant business too. There's a guy in downtown Willoughby, which is on the east side of Cleveland, that got backers, opened up a brewery, ripped them off, left, came back with new backers, rebought the brewery back, and then ripped them off too.
kidding.
Yeah, now he's in jail
No.
now, but he did it twice in the exact same building with the exact
oh
same.
well,
business.
Wow.
that's on the second group. I gotta say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did a double.
double. Came back, got the same place a second time.
No shit.
that's crazy.
I mean, the worst story I've heard in the restaurant business is still the Toby Keith story.
Oh, down there, yeah.
Nashville?
It was like some kind of mafia
National.
back.
Yeah,
shit, wasn't it?
guy from the fucking mob. He was in like witness protection. He got out of witness protection, like created another identity. Somehow got in with Toby Keith's group and was like, "Let's open a bar under your name. I'll run it. I'll do everything. You just like let us use your name."
What White Sox Dave wants to do.
And then
I
and
don't
then
want-
raised.
all the
I
money.
mean, they had a shit ton of places.
I'm not
at
looking to
one
make
point.
money off that place. I'm just looking for it to be reopened so I can go.
They had a ton of spots at one point, and things were like, I think, decent. And then of course the bottom fell out, and then
Sounds like fucking Goodfellas, and they just light it on fire.
but they looked into this guy, and they were like, wait a minute, this guy's a fucking criminal.
Yeah, he was like Ukrainian mob or some crazy shit. Like
Really,
that.
really
Well, they had
crazy
one.
story.
They had one in the flats in
Really?
Cleveland, and this dude they were kept claiming they
there
needed
it
more
is.
money for construction, and they were just pulling the money straight out, not doing any construction. So they were just ciphering money right off the top.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it never opened.
Dude,
There were a bunch of locations that never opened because they were just what Will just said.
I feel like we're
But
in like
poor
the-
Toby Keith had no clue.
Yeah.
And he looked like an asshole because all these people thought they were investing in his business and lost everything.
Yeah.
What in
And
the
he
fucking
was
tarnation is
useless.
going on here? He said.
They said that I was watching the CoffeeZilla. You know that guy's. He's a YouTube,
Yeah.
social media. He finds the scams, and he's like an investigative scam artist reporter. And he said,
Wait,
that
say this name again, because now I'm
CoffeeZilla. He was on the
CoffeeZilla.
Portnoy show.
Yeah, we had him on the Portnoy show, and he was on Rogan recently, and he was saying like that's a big part of these scams is like people see Tom Brady, it's like, oh, he for sure had a guy who look into
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
So Toby Keith, that's probably how a lot of people get got.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
For
yeah,
sure.
and like you keep seeing it. Like it's like no one really does due diligence. Like everyone's just fucking lazy now. I think that's what JP Morgan keeps. JP Morgan bought
That's a
like
great story.
$75 million worth of rocks that someone told him was nickel, like the metal nickel.
Shut
and they
up.
showed up at like this exchange. It was like it's literally just gravel. It was just like, oh well, fuck. No one looked into it, and then they had like another like college loan business that they gave this young entrepreneur. It was basically the Elizabeth Holmes story like all over again, and her entire client base was like fraudulent, but they gave her like $100 million. And then they're like, hey, like how come all of these have like the same address? Like, and then she would list out her client sheet on like a big Excel sheet. And every single thing, it was like an autofill software. So there's only so many like rows you can do on Excel. They all ended at the like the max of like. So there are all these like little warning signs that should have tipped people off that she was committing fraud, and they didn't catch it.
It's like, have you been following this? Is it Onward Health?
I don't think I know about that. No.
It's been going on for like 4 years now. It's based in Chicago. The case is wrapping up. I'm actually like blogging about it because it's fucking crazy how much money this couple stole.
Nate's probably so excited.
But they were selling.
Don't start.
Dude, they raised billions. They had like a $5 billion valuation at one point for selling advertisements on screens that they said they were installing in hospital waiting rooms, in like doctors' office waiting rooms. And I was actually at the doctor's today. I took a picture of it because there's a screen in there that's not plugged in.
Is everything okay?
I had my blood drawn and I didn't faint today, so
Credit to you.
big win.
There you go.
Big win. But they were scamming all these people, claiming they had advertisers and all these sales, and they were just taking money in. Ponzi scheme, straight up Ponzi scheme. And the guy went down because of all these like ridiculous charges and write-offs that he had, like obviously Ferraris, cars, Gold Coast $8 million mansion, and the greatest one I think was a $51,000 charge at Binny's one night. How do you spend 51 grand
I
at
feel
Binny's?
like bottles
Does
of wine.
Benny's even have?
Oh yeah.
That,
I was just in there last week. You could drop 51 grand there.
You really think so?
51 grand.
51
Yeah,
grand. It's like
that's-
you bought out the whole store. I feel like.
It's like he accidentally dominoed
You
all the
find
aisle
thousands-
shelves.
I mean, that's like all their high-end whiskey.
I mean, they gotta have like $1,000 bottles of whiskey and wine and stuff, and that's
Some
only
Pappy.
50 bottles of
Get some
wine.
Pappy have you had Pappy?
Van Winkle.
I've had Pappy.
Yeah. You have?
Yeah, I've got a friend who is like he had kids real young, so he was just like I don't have time for hobbies anymore, so he just got into like nice whiskeys, and I would go over. This is the urologist that you met, and I would go over and like he would pour me like like a little tasters, and we would just sit there like watch a game, and I can't really tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah,
Can
I don't
I don't
I
think
don't
it's that
have a
great,
palate
honestly.
for it.
No?
Yeah, I'd rather have like a E.H. Taylor or one of those.
Really?
Yeah, I
So
think
you're
it's way
big into
good.
this shit?
Yeah, my buddy is. I just drink all his shit.
I think
'cause
there's
don't
like
want
a-
to spend the money on it. Yeah.
I think there's like a natural governor on whiskey, and I could be incorrect here because I don't think I've ever taken a $1,000 glass of whiskey, but like it can only be so good, and once you're like that, like obviously there's a difference between Jack Daniels and like the best of the best, but I don't know if there's like a difference between $100 bottle of whiskey and $1,000 bottle.
I think that
kinda
about
tastes the
wine
same.
too. Like
Same with wine.
yeah, where it's like I can tell the difference between like an 80 and a 20.
Yes.
But I don't know if
Franzia,
I.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can tell the difference between an 80 and like
Exactly.
a 500.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a wine guy. I don't drink that expensive as wine.
I mean, I drink Carlo Rossi. Like,
Hell yeah,
fucking.
it's good. I like that.
$15 for a gallon of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was fucking
Do you?
stealing that when I was 12 years old.
Prop
but
it up on the shoulder.
Will.
That's like the Keystone Light of wine.
Yeah. Oh, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I think you just made a really good point, though. Like, it's good to have a friend like you and Chief that it's like kind of having a boat guy.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Like, you don't want to own a boat
Fuck.
yourself, but you want a friend that owns a boat.
Yeah.
The whiskey guy.
The bourbon, yeah, same thing. He started to have a kid. He was like, "I'm not going out anymore." He used to collect Air Maxes, and he's like, "No, I'm switching to bourbon." And I would I'd gas him up. He'd be like, "Are you going out Saturday morning? You just stay in line and get something. We're going after."
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
all it's
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Let me know if you want me to come over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Air Maxes to bourbon. That's
Yeah.
quite the transition.
he would
it's
be
natural.
He would literally be that guy on the plane with Danny, like to a T, like Oakley glasses, partying his dick off, going to meet 11 buddies.
He walked out. He looked like the PC principal from South Park. You watch South Park?
Yeah, yeah.
What shoes was this guy wearing?
And I was like, this guy fucking sucks. This guy sucks ass. And he's probably listening right now.
No,
I was enraged just by what he looked like. You could have given me no context at all about like all his transgressions the last 3 hours.
I pointed
and I'd have
out-
been like, that guy fucking sucks.
I pointed him out. Dave just goes, "Oh,
Danny, do
Yeah.
you feel at all responsible now that you just
sewered
this
this
guy
guy
out there?
publicly."
You guys sewered him. I just posted the vlog. I didn't
He
say
just
anything
had to
about
not
him.
be
He
an
kind of
asshole.
he kind of sewered himself.
Yeah.
Did he? I didn't. I
Don't
know
be a
nothing about
dickhead
it.
on a plane.
It's the first time
There should be
I'll-
a no talking policy on planes.
I don't
Not
think I've
allowed to
ever remembered a stranger from a flight before.
I will
know,
know
like,
if
you
you
just-
if
you're
you told
on,
him
you're
to
off,
walk in
and-
here with like 10 random people off the
I'd
street,
pick 'em
I'd be
out.
able to pick. And
Yeah.
I saw him for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't even see him on the flight.
Yeah, I'll never forget him.
Neither did
unfortunately.
Ed because we skipped over this part. Ed
Uh-oh, show's
decided to
ending
get
soon.
first class tickets and just let us peasants.
Oh,
go
yeah,
to
I
the back of
heard
the
I heard
plane.
Danny mention that at the end.
Yeah.
Well, how did that work?
He was
How
in
did
the
that-
first
Hey,
fucking
hey,
row.
I was
Dante?
like,
And he's like, "Oh, I'm not that hungry. I had a rigatoni alla vodka." Like we're all starving because
that was intentional to say that, to throw it in your face. No,
yeah, I thought
so
we were
they-
going this whole plane talk without bringing this up.
I was waiting for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and he sprints to the front of the plane. You see that?
A real picture right there. No edits.
Totally real.
Very unphotoshopped.
Yeah, that's great.
No, it was we didn't get Barstool books all our stuff. We didn't get assigned a seat. And I was having like an internal crisis. I was like, dude, I can't get a middle seat. So it was either that or get a middle seat.
Or
So-
end up like me.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't get a middle
Yeah.
seat.
Well, I don't want to take I don't want to roll that.
I will
dice.
say it was a
And
nice
if
touch
I'm
on
a-
the way home. No one in the middle in my row.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky.
You were zonked.
I was like the only fucking person on the plane.
You slept for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would
mean,
you guys? I think I've talked to a few of you offline about this, but do a nice little plug here. What'd you guys think of the Scottsdale Barstool Bar?
great.
Good.
Awesome.
It was double decker, so it's
Yeah.
kind of just like ours, but with bottle service and a different employee uniform. Yeah,
I think
to say
it's
the least.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, they did a good job.
What's it by down there? Like, where's it at in Old Town?
It's kind of like off Camelback and like the Old Town like shit show. It's
Yeah.
kind of off the path
okay.
a little bit, but it's close. You can walk it.
Like
I
down by
walked
the
it
El
completely
Jefe and all that
blacked
stuff
out.
at the end down there, like those places.
Yeah, it's over there.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a great area.
It's sick though. They did an awesome job building it out. They did a really good job.
Cheat didn't get let in because he was wearing sweatpants and
Shut up.
No, this is so. My friend lives out there now, so I did dinner up at his house, and then I met them. I don't know what time I got there, probably closer to like 11:30, and Dave had. I was wearing just like my normal Lululemon hoodie and then some jeans, and I get up and the bounce.
I think you were
Dave,
wearing those exact pants.
No, I had jeans on. I had jeans, and Dave had set it up with the bouncers, be like, "Don't let him in."
Of course he did.
Yeah. So then Tom got it all on camera, and it was like I was like, I think my friends are in there, and they're like, yeah, I know, like they're not wearing hoodies. They wouldn't be in there if they were wearing hoodies, and I was hammered. So if I had the presence of mind to look at like one other person inside the bar, it would have been like, that guy's wearing a hoodie, but I just couldn't, and they didn't break character.
They were good.
And then then I was like, well, I work for Barstool. They're like, I understand that, but we have a strict dress code. We just can't like. And it was like going. I don't know how long. It felt like it went on for like a half an hour.
It was like 2 minutes, but
It was. I think it was longer than 2, but it was. It It was terrible.
Pulling the Barstool card and getting
Yeah,
denied.
and then he
starts-
and then he
That's,
whips out
that's
his
worse
phone
than
and
your
starts
credit card
calling,
getting
like-
denied on a date.
I was like,
That's
who
tough.
do I like? What do I do? I was like, what do I do? And they're just like, there's nothing you can do.
go buy yourself.
They're like,
some
you could
clothes.
take your hoodie off and then just carry it. And I'm like, but I'm wearing like a ratty, disgusting T-shirt underneath this.
This is a classy joint, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And I hook, line, and sinker. Like I got got.
And then I walked up and I'm like, "Oh, guys, he's with me. You're good."
Then they still didn't break
I
character.
know. Then they still. I was like, "Actually, he is with me. Like, you can't let him in. The joke's up now."
That actually happened to me for real at Rough and Rowdy. I went down to West Virginia.
Whoa! You got denied from Rough and Rowdy for dress
so
code?
Did you look too good?
They left tickets for me. It was like a 6.5-hour drive. It was a terrible rainstorm. Some of the worst I've ever driven through. We get there, go in and get the tickets, sit down, and I'm like second row. I brought a couple buddies with me, and Fasoli's like, "What are you doing? Get in here. Come in here." And I'm like, "All right, give me a minute." So I'm like, "All right, I grab my drinks, whatever," and I go around the side, and Mike like damn near tackled me. I mean, that's
Oh, you were like entering.
yeah, I was like coming into, but he like damn near
Dave
tackled me. I'm
zone.
like, oh, I'm like, I work at Barstool. He's like, I don't care, and I don't think so. And he like pushed me back. I was like,
You don't want it with
Yeah.
Mike,
No,
dude.
dude.
I
I
was
do
like,
not
I
want
get
it with him.
He gave me the biggest hug afterwards, though. But he's like, no, you get the fuck out of here, dude.
Security Mike's one of my favorite people.
Me
He's
too.
good. Yeah, he's good.
That's
Legend.
fucking
Yeah.
great.
That Mintz
awesome.
thing, he should have won like an Academy Award. For
Oh, it was awesome.
He's the legend. I just got to go through the process.
Yeah.
It's protocol. It's
Not in
protocol.
trouble. It's just like what the police
Protocol.
want.
I don't think it's you, but we just got to let it.
That's fucking great.
He was so good in that.
He was awesome. All right then, fellas. This was fun. Will, what do you got for the week?
I think I'm gonna go to the Cubs opener.
Nice.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna take my son. I've never been to Wrigley, so and then I don't know. Maybe I'll crash that. What is it?
The Biz?
Yeah, the Biz
Yeah, the
thing
bar
on
Thursday
maybe
night.
before we get out
Nice.
of here, so.
How are we gonna do this year? Guardians and White Sox. I think it's a 2-horse race.
I think it is a 2-horse.
I think the
race.
Twins stink.
Um,
They're gonna be like 500.
I still think the Guardians have the edge here. Love that they locked up Jimenez today. Don't like McKenzie went down, but I don't know, man. We got to put something on the line, right? If it's because I think it is. It's about as
I
even as
only
it could be.
gamble legally and responsibly through the Barstool Sportsbook. Pride, we can do that.
Let's do pride points.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There you go.
Will's a decent baseball guy.
I know that.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, just saying.
I actually bring 5 mitts with me everywhere I go. I have in my rollie.
He's ready to go. All right, everybody, go watch. Dave, you got your video?
Yeah, we finished up our Dominican Republic travel series, myself and Donnie. Last episode aired last night. We went to, it's called 42 de Capetillo, which is the most dangerous neighborhood in all of the Dominican Republic. We basically bribed our Uber driver to take us there, and it was a little seedy. So it was fun. Glad I did it, but like there were a handful of times I'd look at Michelangelo, our camera guy, be like, "Yo, I'm like uncomfortable at this point. We need to leave."
Spoiler
There we
alert,
go.
you lived.
We left.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
I have one question though about the AL Central. How long do you guys give it until Scotty Harris has Detroit in the driver's seat in that division? 2 years?
I mean,
2,
I'm
3?
not. Yeah, they got a lot of work to do.
He's good though.
I'm not saying he's not, but they're gonna have to like fully scorched earth tear it down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you all next time.
I got a radio thing.